So the irony is not lost on anyone because you played the devil in The Devil's Advocate.
Yes. That's my,
And
my
now you're
track.
playing the other side.
The other side's
What,
about time.
what drew you to this role?
The other side. It drew me because it was a true story. And I had seen these filmmakers make another film that I liked very much. And the idea that it was true and the idea that in it was a conflict between the priest and the exorcist. And in a way that was interesting, that gave it took it out of the area of just, like explosions and crazy things and put it into some sort of conflict, which I thought was drama.
Yeah.
You could get to be drama. So, and it was a good script, good part. So I said, I'll do it.
Yeah. And for you both, playing real life people, how do you approach that differently than playing, say, a fictional character?
I don't really know if I do. I kind of, because even if there is a fictional character, I still respect them in the same way. It gives you more opportunities to research and to understand the person more, and there is a bit, at least for me, more of a responsibility, it feels like, to do them justice. But I don't know if I really approach it differently, because I want to have the integrity as an actor with every character that I play. I don't know about you.
I feel the same way too. I do know I played real characters, and I've actually, in Serpico, I knew Frank constantly with him, and I asked him questions, which were so helpful. I mean, it did help to have someone real, and then also it helps to have someone real that you don't see, because today I did a Jack Kevorkian. So I did that, and they were real. So there's so much footage on these people. So I did Hoffa, and you could, in Irishman, and you could study it because there's Hoffa.
Yeah.
Everything. So you get certain things, but it's really I played Roy Cohn too. I use that example of Roy Cohn because Tony Kushner wrote this masterpiece, and he wrote a character that what I would call is actor-proof, because the character is so sculpted in the actual literature of him that you could read the play, and just by reading it, sort of like Shakespeare, you read it and it gives you so much. There's so much there. It's so there's so many variations on that theme, and but you still approach it this similar way. I mean, you still have to go, no matter who they are, to that place in yourself. You still have your own hand, you have your own paintbrush and your own paint to paint the character. So that's still there.
Yeah, and I thought you played it beautifully, and you were a great mentor to Dan Stevens' character while also pushing the hard truth at him.
Yeah.
Did you have anyone in your own life that pushed you beyond what you thought you could do?
Oh, yeah, I did. I was lucky. I had my great friend and mentor my entire life, who I met when I was 17 in downtown Manhattan in the 60s, So 18. Yeah, he helped me my whole life. He was an acting coach, teacher kind of class in the Village. And that's where I went when I was a youngster.
That's great.
It was a different world back then, It was the cafe theater route. I don't think I ever left the Village till I went to Broadway. I lived there. We worked there. We were inspired there by all the things that were happening. The birth of off-Broadway, but living theater. I go on forever. I gotta stop myself. We're here together.
Great stuff.
Well, I would say mine is you, where you're such an inspiration. I mean, he's been so encouraging and so incredible to me
This
since.
girl's great. Just going to tell you it, just a person, but watch her act in this thing.
Oh my God.
You know, she does it all.
Well, I appreciate that. See, but that alone, coming from Al Pacino, you're like, what's going on?
It is.
And your character, Emma, you said something in another interview about how it was not that we need to be afraid of her, but we need to be afraid for her. What was it like playing the vulnerable yet the kind of fierce character at the same time there?
I mean, it was a challenge, to say the least. It was definitely something that I had to put full focus into and really try to find moments where we can have the lucid, vulnerable Emma, and then, you know, the also play into the horror aspect, and then also play into the psychological madness aspect. But yeah, it was definitely a challenge. But I love roles like those. When I read the script, I was so excited, and it was kind of what you were saying before, where you read something and you're like, I connect with this, I have to play it. That's how I felt. Because I saw that challenge, and I loved that there were so many layers, and I was excited to figure out how to hopefully portray those layers. It was daunting, but it was really, it's rewarding when you find those moments and you get to work with amazing actors that help you find them and are really willing to collaborate with you. And it's definitely a team effort.
We did have a collaboration that worked. You know, we were 2 weeks together. You don't usually get that in films anymore. No. So we had it where we just explored stuff and had fun. We had fun doing it too. It's
Great.
fun.
Yeah. And a lot of these kind of exorcism stories are very dark. They keep it dark. But this is, like you said, was a story of resilience and strength. What was it like playing kind of like maybe the hopeful side of these characters during the darkness?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was kind of the point of it too, is that it wasn't just this dark script. You know, we're dealing with dark subject matter, but it was, I mean, that's what drew me to the story, was that it's kind of a story of hope throughout. That's a very big theme of no matter the differing opinions from everyone, they still came together to really help a woman who was, at the end of the day, just suffering. And I think we all kind of understood that in the process of making it. So it was a nice element to it.
And Al, you mentioned being able to work for 2 weeks together. Is that an aspect of working on maybe a smaller film like this was kind of a neat advantage?
It was. It was, because you're together at a place and you're on a location. You're not home, and that in itself brings you together, and it's fun. As I said, it really is fun because it's about discovery. You're always discovering something when you're doing it, and learning at the same time. So that's why I keep doing it. I recommend it to folks out there. It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But that's really thanks to him. He really pushed for I believe he pushed for the rehearsal. And we would sit every single day, read through the script. We'd leave the table, go block things out so that when we did show up on the day, we weren't kind of scrambling. We knew what to expect. We knew what we were doing, but then we could let it go and really create and see what came and see what we liked, what we didn't like. And reading through the script every day really does make a difference, because you find new things that you can do and you can really discover. Yeah.
And this is a story about possession, faith, mental health. What do you hope the audiences can walk away with after seeing this movie?
Wow. I think I guess the thing is, I think it would be an experience that they haven't experienced. It seems in the end, pretty much that is part of what makes a film work, or if there's an experience to be had there. Not so much even here, that might come later, but just in your own experience. I mean, you went and saw something. You know, I heard a street guy once. I saw him on YouTube, which I watch regularly, but he sings, and he has these things beautiful, and they have beautiful voices, you know, and he gets people. And he had this group of young girls coming along the pier, and they were there. And he said to them, "Hi, you want to sing something?" Because he was singing street stuff. So they found a song that they could sing, and they started singing it. And then they got a little bit. They understood it. They thoroughly liked the song. It's a rock song. It's good. And they started singing, and they sang it, and they got into it. And they kept singing and singing it. And after it's over, he says to them, he just sits there, he says, "How do you feel now? Do you feel better than you did before?" They said, "Yes, I feel great." You see, it's that kind of a thing. And sort of, I felt great watching it. Hopefully, audiences feel great when they see a film afterward.
Or
It's a
they'll
good
be
film.
terrified.
Or they'll be terrified. They'll come out.
You're gonna tell
Nightmares for
They
weeks.
just say, "Oh, why did I go see that film?"
That's also an experience, though.
That's an experience. There you go.
They have that.
Yeah.
But if they say nothing, you're like, I don't know. Where you going for coffee
yeah.
afterward? That's fun too when that happens to you. Hey.
So thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you want more content like this, head over to movieguide.org. Movieguide is a nonprofit organization, and we are supported every day by viewers like you.